In this episode of Wessex Wheels, we put the Fiesta ST through its paces, Stig Bulley falls in love with a Corsa, and our Bun Run van retires in style. Hello and welcome to Wessex Wheels. I'm Jack and with me today is Stig Bulley and Parry.
So today, an emotional day because it's the end of an era for Wessex FM. I am the only person, well, maybe Vicky's slightly liked it, who was absolutely in love with our Wessex FM KA van. Now, there were very few of these KA vans ever made. In fact, they were only made for British Telecom, and it used to be white, and we sprayed our lovely Wessex FM blue. We stuck stickers all over it, and despite the fact that it didn't have ABS brakes, so it did take about 3 miles to stop, we loved it to bits, and we have delivered thousands of buns across the whole of Dorset in the little KA van, but everything has its day, and the day had to come when we had to say goodbye. And however emotional that is, and I can assure you it is emotional, the day came when it had to go, but not in any old way. Oh no, we get rid of the KA van in momentous style.
So as Steve says, we couldn't simply just put it on an internet auction site or put an ad in the paper to get rid of it. Something very special had to happen to our KA. And Steve and I had a bit of a wizard wheeze. Rather than do just an any old car for sale ad, we were going to give a number of local motor traders the opportunity to win the KA in the forum of a motor race. So we headed up to the Clay Pigeon Raceway for a very special day out and a very fond goodbye.
So today we're at the Clay Pigeon Raceway. This is actually where Jenson Button started his career before moving on to Formula One. Will our riders be as successful? Probably not. But anyway, moving swiftly on. This first bend here is the slide, which moves then into the Sturmy Straight, a nice long straight, followed straight in by the hardest turn of all, which is the hairpin bend, as you can see there. That is followed by the bottle opener, a nice long turn there, followed straight by the right-hand bend. Quite a lot of turns on this course for the drivers to watch out for, before coming back round to the starting line. That's then followed by Billy's Blind, and finally they come back into the slide which showed you at the beginning. So there's quite a few turns in this course. We'll see how our drivers fare today, and all I can say is, well, good luck. You're probably going to need it.
So that's the track. Let's get back to the race.
But before we do that, let's let our motorman, Parry, talk us through the KA.
It is the 1.3, 69 horsepower engine there, so you know, it's a bit of a beast. With the spoiler to give you the downforce you're going to need in the corners there. The 9,000 miles on the clock is almost certainly not correct. And what else can we say about it? It's fitted with the alloy wheel option, upgrade there for you. And of course the yellow door mirrors are particularly attractive. Pretty confident that the handling on the KA is not to the same standard as any of the cars the rest of you are currently driving. Okay, so please bear that in mind.
So that was the track and the car taken care of, and then it was on to the first of our races.
So far so good. Then it was Mr. B's turn. What could possibly go wrong?
Thank you, Andrew. So you join us now with Stig Bulley's run, and straight off the line, straight onto the power. Now, they say that for Stig Bulley, the Bun Run van was his second home for a period of months, and as you can see there, him throwing it into the corners round the slide there, clearly pushing it to the limit, that vehicle. But actually, going into the hairpin and now onto the bottle opener, quite a sedate speed for Stig Bulley. Normally, a lot harder on the accelerator going into and out of the corners there. Just a tiny bit of oversteer as he comes out of the bottle opener. Now he's going onto the main straight, up to the line for a 69 brake horsepower car. I have to say, that is looking pretty fast. Across the line, and he's coming around to Billy's Blind. There's a bit of swerve, and oh, he has completely ditched the vehicle. Now I hope that himself and of course DJ Owen, the cameraman, are going to make it safely home there. That was looking a little worrying. And in fact, yes, the steward has now come out to stop the vehicle. Apparently it's not safe for Stig Bulley to be driving it anymore. And you can probably tell from DJ Owen's reaction, yeah, he's not looking in the best of sorts after that lap. But could be a good time, we'll have to see.
So after Stig Bulley's lap, it was time to bring the KA in for a quick pit stop and make sure everything was all right, which gave us a chance to talk to the other racers about the cars they were driving. So Stuart, you've now seen what you're going to be racing today. How's that compare with what you're driving normally?
Okay, so this is a Suzuki Swift Sport 1.6, 136 brake horsepower, quite a rapid little thing, wolf in sheep's clothing, got quite a lot of punch, so the KA is going to be a bit of a beast to handle, I'm sure, in comparison to this bad boy.
Now you're offside. You're still offside.
Hello, and now back to the races.
Goal! Yes! Come on! Come on!
So now we're going to join Stuart as he prepares for his lap.
You haven't even got an adjustable steering wheel.
No. Oh no, it's back to basics.
What's that? There's no travel.
And the Lee's instructions.
To be fair, you did turn up here in a Suzuki Swift Sport.
Right.
That has slightly greater throttle travel.
Do I have to have the window up or can I have it down?
Yes, Stuart, you can have the window down. Don't see how that's going to help, but never mind. As a Suzuki driver, he's very used to small cars, so I'm sure this will help him out in the Bun Run van. You can see him bombing it down the straight there, and nice and smooth as he comes out of the hairpin into the bottle opener now. Very smooth indeed, and into the right-hand bend. So smooth, he's probably playing some jazz music right now. A nice tidy lap then from Stu. Will it be enough to be on today's podium? We'll find out later on in the show.
So you join us for the send-off of our lovely Ford KA Bun Run van, which has finally become decommissioned. Both Dave and Justin from Chesil Beach Motors have driven it. How does that compare to a modern Ford?
Justin, you can answer this best.
It's a little bit different now. Handling's come a long way since the KA was first produced. Yeah.
Now you've challenged me, which is why I've got this helmet in my hand, to go round the track now in this Ford Fiesta ST, which has how much brake horsepower?
200 horsepower on overboost.
Okay, and that's, we reckon, probably came with 69 and is probably at about 60 now.
That'll be about right. Yeah.
So how scared should I be?
You'll be alright.
But Steve, we've heard you're a very confident passenger, is this right?
As long as there's a handbrake, I'll be fine.
Do you need the blindfold?
I'm going to close my eyes a lot, there's no doubt about it.
Enjoy.
So we're going to go on a blistering lap around the Clay Pigeon Cart Raceway in a 200 brake horsepower Ford Fiesta ST.
That looked genuinely terrifying. How scary was it, Steve?
That was really scary because that car went very, very quickly, and the whole way around I was hanging onto the seat and I was looking for the invisible brake pedal somewhere in the footwell because it was stopping, and it was terrifying. Several underwear changes later when I got out, I was genuinely shaky-legged. However, what is amazing about that little car is it stops on a sixpence.
Stonking car.
Unbelievable. And I never ever felt unsafe because I knew we would stop.
So several pairs of underwear later, it's back to the track. So now it's the turn of Dom from Lanehouse Vauxhall and his run in the Bun Run van. Now, of course, Dom should be wary. Stig Bulley was eyeing up his Corsa early on in the show. He does have a bit of a crush on the Corsa, as it seems. We know how Stig Bulley likes his car parts. But anyway, back to Dom's lap. Into the slide, a nice line through those two corners. A lot of the drivers can come unstuck on that chicane. Then going round and lining up for the hairpin, it's all about getting that line just right, and that was looking good. Coming up to the straight now, looking very speedy, for some reason putting the windscreen wipers on. But overall, I think that was a good lap from Dominic. How good? We'll find out later on in the show.
So now it's the turn of Dave England from local Ford dealer Chesil Beach Motors. So if anybody's going to know how to handle a Ford KA round a karting track, surely it must be Dave.
So now it's the turn of a senior member of the CBM team. It's Mr. Dave England.
Is it still in one piece?
Yes, it is still in one piece, Dave, for the moment. Will it be by the end of his lap? We'll find out. Somewhat struggling with the seatbelt there, Dave. Fortunately, he's not being timed for this bit.
It's even got a Wessex FM air freshener.
Yeah, and a bug as well. Wessex FM bug.
Marvellous.
Yes, we are all about the memorabilia here at Wessex Wheels as we count into Dave's lap. And coming out of the slide there, you can see there a lot of kick on that. That's quite aggressive. Coming into the hairpin now. Again, really pushing it into those turns you can see there in the bottle opener. Whoa, quite trendy with the drivers today. Dave, it's always the quiet ones. Coming into the main straight then, the final straight, up to the line. Dave, that looked pretty fast, quite aggressive. Will it be enough, though, to pay off later on? We'll find out.
So the second runner from Chesil Beach Motors was Justin Turner. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this will be a quick lap.
After a blistering run in the Fiesta ST, it's now Justin's turn in the Bun Run van. Of course, with half the horsepower to play with, he's certainly got his work cut out on this lap. Coming into the slide, that is a nice line through there, kicking it out a bit, he's really hammering it down through the corners. And nearly came off there in the bottle opener. Just managed to hold on to the car there, that was lucky. Still looking very speedy, going across the line, really putting the brakes on hard. Will that be enough for Justin to win today? We'll find out later in the show.
So while the KA was having a little rest after that last race, it fell to Dom from Lanehouse Vauxhall to give us a little bit of an indulgence into Stig Bulley's passion for a Vauxhall Corsa.
So we're here at the Clay Pigeon Raceway to see off the Bun Run van, and I'm here with Dom from Lanehouse. Now you've come in a gorgeous Vauxhall. Tell me about this.
Yeah, Corsa VXR. So yeah, it's the performance version of the Corsa. 205 brake horsepower, top speed of 143 miles an hour, and 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. So that's pretty pokey, really.
So you drove here in that. You've just done a few laps, and then your time lap in the Bun Run car, which has got probably about 65 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
Doesn't have ABS brakes.
Yeah.
And 0 to 60 in about 20 seconds. How did that feel?
Yeah, fun, like driving a go-kart basically. Yeah, so no, great fun, great entertainment. Yeah.
And you have got one of the few people that have actually got it round without actually spinning it off as well, aren't you? Because you did very smooth driving.
Yeah, that's it.
Unlike me, who managed to put it in the grass.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, didn't push it hard enough then, did I?
So we go back to the track. It was your turn in the car. Now, how well did that go, Andrew?
Well, up to that point, it has to be said, everything was going really well. The car behaved perfectly.
Yeah.
The drivers behaved perfectly.
Yeah.
And then somebody gave me the car keys.
Yes.
Prepare to be amazed.
I have to say, the only thing I'm actually amazed about is the speed he's closed that window there, because that is a roll-up after all. Go on, aggressively straight off the line there. Okay, aggressive is one word, suicidal is something completely different. And oh my goodness. And that's the hairpin there. He has completely turned that car around. And what's he doing? Okay, slightly unconventional there. He's gone for the three-point turn on the hairpin, something we weren't really expecting to see today. Personally, I would have chosen the grass, but I'm not one to judge. Right, going into the right hand now, he's really got some time to make up for after that little incident. Oh, you can still hear it screeching around the corners there. And across the line, he's still going at some speed though. And coming up to the blind, oh dear, he's fatal error. And the car has paid the price. It seems that him and Stig Bulley, too aggressive in Billy's blind there, both have spun it off. And look at the damage.
The gear knob came off in my hand.
Yeah, we've all heard that one before.
Did I win?
No, not quite, Andrew. No, you didn't. Here's DJ Owen with the post-lap analysis.
Did you crash it?
I might have done.
Boo.
It might have ever so slightly, possibly, overcooked it in a corner or two and spun it off once or twice. But in my defence, the gear lever did come off in my hand. Which is probably the only reason why it happened.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of that, because I am a natural genius at driving. I am.
Yes, well, the camera footage does contradict you a little bit there, Andrew. I don't think that we're going to see him on the podium.
So we're here back at the Clay Pigeon Raceway, which was a non-contact day today where we're not going to make any contact with anything with the Bun Run KA. As you can see, there is damage to it. What you can't see is the gear stick is also off inside the car. All done not by any of our guests, but our very own Andrew Parry from Wessex FM is the only person who's managed to actually damage the car today. So we have a very special prize for you and a very special trophy, because we don't believe your lap will be that quick because you had bodywork slapping off. But you will leave with the trophy today, and I'll just let you see what that says.
Thank you very much. So the race was run and the times were in.
And our Bun Run van had been virtually destroyed.
Don't go looking at me about that one. But who did win the Ford KA Bun Run van?
Let's find out.
Can I say a massive thank you to Lee and all the team here at Clay Pigeon. It's so well done. I have abandoned my acceptance speech for winning today. I'm led to believe that's not likely to happen. But the scores were, sir.
The scores were: third place, 54.670 was Dominic. Well done, Dominic. Best lap time was 54.306. The runner-up was Dave. Well done, Dave. The winner today's best lap time with, or the best lap time of 52.1. Wow. So 2 seconds. Justin, well done. Oh.
Thank you.
So what have we learned today? Andrew?
Well, I've learned that it's probably best to slow down and back off before you get into the corner, not actually during it.
Probably a good idea. Steve, what have you learned?
Well, I learnt that Andrew couldn't drive as well as he thought he could, and I was probably a little bit too emotionally attached to the Ford KA, but most surprisingly, I kind of fell in love with a Corsa.
And there's something none of us saw coming.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh.
Of course, Andrew's got some new wheels.
No. Of course, yes. See you next time.